I'm actually filming this before I'm filming absolutely anything else for this truck. So I'll do like an intro and like an opening for this, and probably the next couple of days or next week after I get it registered. But today I'm actually just working on vacuuming and cleaning out the inside of the Rover. So by now you already know what this is, so I'm not going to go in and talk about that right now. But just know this is taking a few days before I actually do anything else. So today I'm working on cleaning out the interior. So by the time you see this, it's going to be a lot cleaner, a lot more better, and not as nasty on the inside. But right now it's pretty gross. So I'm going to give you some shots of how it looks currently. This is how I picked it up on Black Friday, which was 3 days ago. So yeah, so let's get started. Time to get vacuuming. Got everything out of the truck for the most part. So let's hit it. Alright, so I pulled the sound dampening and the carpets, which are pretty nasty, out of the back. What I'm going to try and do is get as much of the carpet out, get rid of the stale smoke smell out of the truck. Try and get as much of the smell, the smoke smell and that stale smell out of the truck as I can. Do you have some floor rust? It's actually not that bad. I thought it was going to be way worse, but the floor pan is actually not too bad. And I think a lot of that leaking is coming from the Alpine windows, which is causing that to rust. So that's going to get sanded down. If I have to do some patching to it, I will. But the plan is to truck bed line the whole interior, get rid of all the carpet, get rid of all the sound dampening. And I think I'm going to make some drain holes in here as well. So maybe some of the really bad rust spots I'll clean up, drill it out, and do some work around those and let those be drain holes or something. I don't know. But the floor looks a lot better than I thought it was going to. I just feeling around, it felt like it was going to be pretty bad. And I know this is a common area for really bad rust. So I think I caught it at a good time. So that is good. So carpet's out. I'm going to pull the wheel well carpets off. You can see I already started on that one, but it's caught on the seat belt. I have no intent of putting these carpets back in. They're nasty and dingy and gross, as you can see. So after I truck bed line it, I'm probably going to get some some weather mats just to lay over top of it and just use it more utility. The rear seat belts are going to come out. I have no intent of putting the seats back into the back. Actually, I think those are the passenger seats. I might keep those in. Yeah, I'm probably going to keep those in. I didn't even think about those. So yeah, going to keep those in. I'm going to take them out probably. I might try and pull the actual belts apart and rinse them and soak them and clean them up pretty good. See if they have a kit online. Maybe just put some new ones in because these ones are pretty gross. They look cool though. I like the pattern, very retro on them. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm vacuuming as I go, so I'm gonna vacuum up all this rust and stuff, all the chips and everything and all the crap in here, and then just continue on. So alright, got out as much of the carpet as I feel like getting today. Pulled out this bench seat and two of the bolts sheared off in there, so I'm gonna work on that a different day. Probably just drill them out and then get new bolts to reinstall that seat. Not super worried about it. Still got the large bent seat in there. That's gonna have to come out eventually to repaint the floors anyways. So I have a feeling that those two seats pulling the bolts out are gonna definitely shear, so probably gonna get some liquid wrench for those, see if I can ease them out. But I have a feeling those are gonna be pretty rough. Only spot that I found that is definitely questionable on the floor is this one. You can actually almost press through it. I think that one's gonna rust out, so that might be the only place that I add some support before painting. I'll check it out on another day. Alright, so this one was my big concern, was the floor under the seat. As you can see, the seat isn't even connected on this side, and this is the passenger side. You can actually see the floorboard. You got a hole here. That's an existing hole, but it's in pretty rough shape. So this seat's definitely be coming out. You can see all of this just saturated. I mean, just soaking wet. So this is holding water pretty good. Over here, you got a pretty bad leak. So we're gonna look into that some more. I think I'm gonna leave the sound dampening on here for now, but I think I'm gonna try and pull all this stuff right here, so that we can start just getting it cleaned out and just make sure it stays dry. I got a buddy that does welding. So I'm gonna see how he feels about cutting out some of that floor pan and welding in some new sheet metal. And then from there, I'll just do a custom seat bracket probably and remount the seat. And I do plan on doing some aftermarket seats. But this is kind of what I wanted to get into today, was just kind of pulling this apart and trying to get to some of the carpet. I'm not necessarily worried about the driver's side just yet, but I have a feeling the floorboard over there is gonna be probably pretty bad too. But we'll see. This one was the worst of it, but we're just gonna pull that out and just toss it, because that's gross. And ain't nobody got time for that. All right. So, another thing I did today too was I peeled off my first little bit of plastic dip on some of that trim there. So the other side still has it on. I was just peeling off while I was taking the dogs out to the bathroom. So the other one's still on there.